Guys, y'all give me just a second. I have forgotten. That's not how you do it. I have forgotten how to go back. It's been a while since I've used StreamYard or Streamlabs, and I have forgotten how to literally go back. Nope, that's not how you do it. So give me just a minute. I don't know if anybody can hear me, but I'm trying to go back to that, and I can't remember how to do it once I get in. So hopefully y'all can still hear me. I'm just figuring how I go back to my main screen. Literally forgotten how to go back. No, that's not what I need. I don't know how to go back. I don't know what I'm doing now. I don't know how to get back here. Huh. There's a way, and I have forgotten. It has been so long since I've done this. So give me just a minute, guys. If you're here, I can't even see the chat right now. I don't remember how to get back to... Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Give me just a minute, y'all. I have forgotten literally how to get back to the front screen. I need a refresher course, and it's been a while since I've gone back to Streamlabs. I don't. That's going to be that. Give everybody a time to get in while I fool around how to get back out of the scheduling thing. There's a way to do it, and I don't. Yeah, you have to just give me a minute. I don't know how to do this. And it's a really easy button. I know that. I just can't figure it out. There's usually a thing to go back to the camera, and I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I found it. Sorry, guys.
I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
All right, we're back. It's been a while since I've used Streamlabs because the computer crashed. And so I'm familiarizing myself and I couldn't figure out how to get myself on the screen. Isn't that great, right? So anyway, thank you for that. I know I was going to come on at 7:15 and I just was the crochet. I just got involved with that and I was like, wait a minute, it's time to go live. So welcome everybody. I want to take a moment too and make sure you all can hear me. We got to make sure that that happens, right? And then I'm not muted or anything like that. So welcome. Okay, sounds good because there was a problem with sound. Also, it is time for us to give our memberships away. 5. We do that on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday or 4th weeks of the month. So let me do that too while we still have, well, everybody's kind of coming in. We will get that done. And then I will go ahead and go in when this uploads. I will go and edit that part where I was like, I can't figure out how to get myself back on camera. Oh boy. So this topic came about because it's kind of what I'm going through. And I had a talk with my therapist today, which was very insightful. I will say that. And let's see. We have set a little goal. So let's send 5 now. Hold on a second. We'll see who gets those. Mandy, Blessings Through Connection, Margaret, Judy, May Collins, and Carol all get memberships. And thank you so much. We do have a goal for those that see it. I don't know if they see it on their end, but we do have a goal for to have. Oh, you're welcome. We do that. YouTube gives us a way to do it for free every month. So we're glad to be able to do that. And we are setting a goal for, I think it was for high diamonds in the sticks. It was for just to see what happens. A couple of memberships, or not memberships, but super chats throughout the time. We've just kind of set a little goal, see how that works, because she's not far from reaching to the $100 threshold. I think we're like under $9 or something like that. And I'd like for her to get that, not this month, but next month. It would just be a nice little gift to be able to get that. So we did set a little goal, and we'll do that throughout the end of the year. The other request I have before we get involved with this topic is that we need your help, guys. We are only 21 away from 2K, and we are literally almost about 20 days till the end of the year. And so if there's any way that you can spread us out, get us out there so we could reach that and obtain that by the end of the year, we would really appreciate that. If you can go back and watch anything that you haven't watched, comment on stuff, we would really appreciate that too, because that would also help tremendously to get it out there as well. So just a little couple things. Now, I took the cookies out so I can make that recipe I'm going to put up. I've got the frost guards. We're going to put that together. We are going to start, I'm going to put the video together for Dog the Bounty Hunter hat that will run through until January 10th, which was my aunt's birthday. So we're going to do that as well. And we'll probably work on the blanket tomorrow. I've done a little bit of it today. And we'll have on Saturday a craft and a little special announcement. So you're going to want to participate in that on Saturday. It's going to be a craft with a special announcement as well. So that being said, now I want to preface this whole thing with everybody kind of understanding that I am very grateful for everything. And you know, there's good things happening in our lives kind of behind the scenes. And I'm very thankful for that. And it's not that I'm sitting here going, you know, I'm just wallowing in depression. But I can say that when I talked to my therapist today and I started talking about some things, she said to me, she goes, Mary, you are really dealing with delayed grief. She said, there's no doubt about it. She said, yes, the way that you should have handled this, if everything had kind of fallen in place, is your aunt passed in March, and you would have gone through the grieving steps. She said, unfortunately, she said, your aunt passed and you had several other losses around that time as well. And she said to me, she goes, and then she said, you also winded up having some health issues that winded me in the hospital on Easter Sunday. And that lasted for almost 2.5 months. And so I didn't really get the ability to grieve. I actually put all the things I was going to go through, the grief I was going to go through, and I put it in the trunk of a car. We've talked about the trunk before. We've talked about when you're going through something in your life, when you're having difficulty in your life, sometimes if those emotions become too much, you need to put them in the trunk and walk away. And I had to continue placing them in the trunk because it was so overwhelming for me to even deal with the basics of stuff. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't handle it. So it literally had to go in the trunk and just say, nah, I can't deal with it. And I tried to several times pull it out of the trunk, and it just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. And so I say that to understand that. And then, of course, my sciatic nerve, and we all know the story, and I'm not trying to go into woes here, but I'm trying to have you all understand the context behind why it's like, well, she passed in March. Why is this so difficult now? And then we had the context of then, of course, my sciatic nerve that has decided to go, oh, let's just have fun with you, right? And so with that being said, I have gone through some struggles, and I couldn't deal with anything else but just kind of taking care of me. Well, a couple weeks before we were getting ready to go to Indiana, I found out that a friend of mine, my maid of honor, actually passed away the same day as my aunt did. And my counselor said, I guarantee you that has kind of brought up your aunt, passing. And she said, maybe brought it to the surface. And then on, I think it was Monday, I usually go live. We go live every day in the month of December. I could not go live on Monday. And Josh was trying to work on the printer because we got the computer hooked up and everything. We were trying to print something out. And he just looked over at me, and I just started crying. It was almost like, and I said to her, the pressure cooker kind of hit the button and the pressure came right out. And I'm like, okay, I got to deal with this. And he said, why are you crying? And I thought, I'm finally starting to cry for my aunt. And I also, and one thing that she did say too as well, is she said, you're also in that stage. Now, listen, I love Kendi K all day because she sits there and goes, I'm a woman of the particular age. Don't ask me how old I am. So I go by, well, you know what? I'm 29 for the rest of my life. I don't care what anybody says, I'm 29 and I'm thrilled about it. But I literally am at that stage of my life where I'm entering that stage of my life. I'm past having kids and all that. And so things are happening. So all of those things are happening. There's more depression when you're going through the change, right? Wonderful, right? There's all those kind of things, the emotions. I don't know if you were on the live last night. I walked through it, but I was having a panic attack in the mix of trying to do a live last night. Don't know where the panic attack came from. I've noticed they've kind of popped up a little bit more. Panic attack and, so forth. And so it's kind of like a storm, a perfect storm that's kind of hit. And she said, good for you that you realized that you were dealing with this She said, good that you realized. I said, it just struck me last week. I want nothing to do than just hide in my room. This was last week. Hide in my room. It's not like this now, but I want to hide in my room. I want to forget the world, and I want to pretend like Christmas is not going to come. When I get close to New Year's and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, I want to go under the sheets and say, can we go to the 30th, which is, a nice day? Can we go to January the 3rd and just skip over January the 2nd, just skip over those 2 days? That's the day my grandfather and my dad both passed away. And even though Patty passed in March, she didn't pass in a holiday season. This is still the first holiday without her. I can't call her on the phone and say, how you doing? I can't wish her, Merry Christmas. Last year when she came to visit us, we had the wonderful opportunity of actually going to the Christmas store locally here in Berlin when we took her to the Amish country, and she picked out an ornament. Well, I didn't even want to put up the tree. I have seen the ornament, I put it on the tree, and I cried the entire time I put it on the tree. So I'm not the only one kind of struggling with this. Now, that has also done something else. It has delayed what I know should happen, right? We have, I can get it. We are working on the Advent Journal. Okay? I have D&E recorded, and I need to get them done. I need to get them edited and up. And I need to record the rest of this. And I haven't done it. I've gotten the Bible verses up. I need to put the recaps up. I don't want to do any of it. And when I found this article, it was like, yay, finally, something is saying to me, this is what I'm going through and what I'm experiencing is actually perfectly normal. And it didn't make me feel as if I was kind of going in kind of, I wasn't just kind of imagining all of this, that this was something I was actually going, okay, this is really perfectly normal. And so I wanted to share this article with you. And I wanted to tell you that I have kind of felt as if we came home Monday. Was it Monday? No, Tuesday. Tuesday. My mom and I were out running some errands. I came back home and I just said, let's load the table up and start wrapping Christmas presents. And there was something that happened to me while I was wrapping those Christmas presents. And it was like, okay, turn on the Christmas music, wrap the Christmas presents. And I felt like the start of wanting to celebrate Christmas was there. It wasn't like I was sitting there going, I really don't want to do this. I felt like, okay, I really want to kind of celebrate now. And I felt even today it's kind of lifting. I don't feel as if I have any desire to to not celebrate it. And reading this article, and I will put it in the description below, really, really helped me. And he said, what are the 3 C's of grief? Your guide to healing and coping over the holiday season. And I loved it. Hi, the voice that matters. Welcome on in. I'm getting used to them using the handles. So grief, I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's in the holidays or not. Grieving is hard, but understanding what the 3 C's of grief are, choosing 3 things. I was very surprised when I actually read this. And it says the 3 C's are choice. The second one is something we talk about on a regular basis. Connect. Hi, Joy. Connect. Right? We've got to connect with each other. Me coming on and saying, and I've kind of said throughout this entire time, I'm not okay. I'm really struggling. And I want to apologize to this community because I've said we're going to be all caught up on the Advent Journal that we're going through. I should just bring it over here. The Advent Journal that we're going through. I'm going to get all caught up. The videos are going to be out. And it hasn't happened. And it's not that you all don't matter. It's that I kind of have felt as if I'm in this almost, they were talking about it in this article, and we'll get almost in a fog, which comes with fibromyalgia too. So it's kind of like a double whammy. So, and the other one is communicate. You know, the Principal's Guide to Making You Choose, Making Choices, Building Connection, and Expressing Your Feelings. So the key takeaways, the 3 C's, choose, connect, and communicate, provide a framework for managing loss and promoting healing. And it really did. It was like, wait a minute. I am choosing to want to just ignore everything and pretend like everything doesn't exist, even though there's really good stuff in kind of the background of everything. And like I was saying before, we're going to have a craft on Saturday. Probably going to work on the blanket tomorrow night. We may do a craft on Friday, but we're going to do a special craft on Saturday. And we have an announcement on Saturday. So you got to be there for that one. And then the other one is understanding cognitive challenges, emotions, functions during grief, known as grief brain. And I was like, boy, did that just hit me. Emotional roller coaster is essential for developing coping skills. And one thing my therapist said to me is, you're probably going to go through valleys. And that is so true. She said, Mary, you have had delayed grief. I was so scared to start even think about grieving over Patty's loss. And listen, us that believe in that there is a heaven and all that kind of stuff, and I know that's where she's at. I know that's where my dad is and my grandfather is. It does not mean that we still, as humans, don't need to grieve over these people. They're out of our lives. Our lives are different and so forth. And we can still be sad. I'm very glad she's not in pain. I know she's in the best place in the world. She'd come probably slap me silly and say, Mary, what in the heck are you doing? Live life, because that's who she was. But it's okay to grieve. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad. And one thing that happened a couple weeks prior to this, before we left for Indiana, is I found out that my maid of honor passed the same day my aunt did. And my therapist said, most likely that's kind of triggered the opening of that. I was very scared to even think about starting to grieve over Patty, because very shortly after Patty passed away, I winded up having a very extended cycle. And that lasted for 2.5 months. Thankfully, the medication got everything back on track and so forth. But I was almost kind of, I don't want to start grieving. I don't want to start that whole thing all over again. That was a nightmare. And so I don't want to do that. I don't want to go down that hole again. And so I just kept putting it in the trunk. Well, you can put it in the trunk so many times before the pressure's ready to go bing. And another thing she said to me is, she said, have you been a little bit more snippy lately? And I'm like, yeah, more irritable, more snippy. She said, well, you've got to associate that with the time in your life, that thing we call the change, right? We have to associate that with that, realizing that that is happening with you at this time in your life. And there's emotions and all of those things kind of happening all at the same time. Being a woman is so much fun, let me just tell you. So another thing that it was talking about was creating new traditions, right? And establishing resilience are key components in adapting to loss. So that'll happen with long-term healing and facilitating that. It's like the boxes we do for the Samaritan's Purse is something I can say that honored my grandmother. And we did the cookie connection, and that didn't happen this year. I felt very overwhelmed, and I had to look and say, what can I not have to do? Because I just felt a lot of pressure come on me this year. And now I kind of understand why. So, So let's look, and I really like that there was just 3 C's. There wasn't a laundry list of things in this article that you had to do, right, to be able to do anything. There was just the 3 C's, which I loved that it talked about those 3 things. And so the first thing is choice. We all have a choice to make. We can either sit and wallow, and I also don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying to yourself, I just don't have the physical, emotional strength to do X, Y, and Z. There's nothing wrong with that. I also came back from Indiana very sore, very tired, and it took me about a week to kind of recover from all that. And it was last week where I'm like, wait a minute. This is going to be a hard Christmas, right? So making the initial choice during grief allows you to navigate your emotions and regain a sense of control over your life. Now understand, when everybody says she passed away in March, you should have been through this whole thing. I literally, hi Crate and Relate, nice to see you. I literally had to put things on the back burner for one reason or the other, because I was dealing with health. Okay? I was in kind of like just a really difficult place health-wise. And I didn't have the energy. I couldn't deal with it. They wanted to do a little procedure. And I said, and when the doctor talked about that, I said, and she started listening to all the stuff going on. She goes, you know what? You're not up for this. You are not up for this. What's going on with you is not life-threatening. You're fine. Let's work on seeing if the medication will correct the issue, and it did, without having you go through that, because you're not emotionally up for it. And she was cool with that, and I was so glad that she saw, wait a minute, she is beyond overwhelmed. So I was actually crying on the phone with my therapist today, and she goes, I can feel like the little pressure cooker's coming out. You're letting the pressure out a little bit by little bit. And she said, I'm going to walk through this with you. And I said, I'm not so worried that whatever condition was happening is going to necessarily happen again, because it hasn't happened for a while. And I said, I'm going to be okay this time around. And now I'm ready to kind of deal with the fact that she's not here. But I want to preface this with anybody going through a recent loss, anyone going through a grief issue, whatever that may be, has to sit there and say, okay, right? We're going through it, and it could be just as recent as before. And we can do this and get through it all, but we can do it so much better together. So the choice, hold on a second. So the choice of the whole thing, the navigating your emotions, that may mean that choosing to engage in activities and promoting well-being, or taking a step back from social engagements when you're feeling overwhelmed. Here's the problem. If you don't acknowledge and just say, I'm fine, right? Then you're sitting there saying, I'm fine. Everything's fine. You know what I mean? There's no problem here. I'm okay. And you're going to go, okay, I'm going to be okay. And then what's going to happen? You have to get to yourself and say, listen, I'm really struggling with this. I don't like this Christmas. when it comes necessarily from the perspective of everything that's going on. I don't necessarily like it. That's okay. I don't have to like it. I literally can say, okay, you don't have to like this Christmas. And if it means that I've had to kind of step back a little bit, then that's what I had to do. I had to do it for my own well-being. And it just meant, wait a minute, you're going through something. And sitting there saying, I'm okay, it's okay, everything's fine. Nope. It doesn't work like that at all. It absolutely 100% does not work like that. You have to be willing and able to sit there and say to yourself, I'm kind of struggling right now, whatever that may look like. But you have to be able to sit there and admit that and be able to go through that and be able to do it in a way that you can. And if people don't understand, don't matter. It literally does not matter if they do not understand. They don't have to understand. You can sit there and say, wait a minute. I don't have to understand, right? I don't have to understand. Nobody else has to understand. The only person that has to be able to do it is you have to be able to understand. And that's all that matters. If they don't understand, it really doesn't matter because it's your grief process. It's nobody else's grief process but yours. Okay. So again, if you need to back away from social interaction, if you can handle it or not, that's up to you. For instance, you may opt out to eat with a support. You may opt to eat with a support group rather than their family if it doesn't help. If they are more understanding, sometimes friends can be more understanding than family. This community as well, if you're struggling, come in and let us know that you're struggling, because that way we can help you through those things, whatever they may look like. We can help you through. Getting back to the article here. Okay. Recognizing that you can decline invitations, okay, and events and gatherings that may trigger without feeling. Choose what aligns best with your healing process and empowers you to take control of your journey and is critical for you coping with grief. You should not feel obligated to attend any event or do anything if you are not up to it. And this goes along too with anybody dealing with chronic pain. If you are dealing with chronic pain, you know what I mean? Then you've got to be in the same position as you are regardless. Because if you're dealing with chronic pain, then you have to sit there and say, you know what? I can't handle necessarily doing this right now. This is too overwhelming. This is too much right now, whatever it may be. And if they don't understand, they don't understand, right? And so having a choice, choosing, okay? There has been days since this kind of like aha moment, I guess, where I've said to myself, you know what? And when I found this article, I've started saying, you know what? I'm going to choose to do A or B. What am I capable of doing? Instead of feeling like this weight of this whole thing was just sitting on my shoulders. What am I feeling like I'm going to do? What do I do? Chronic pain sucks. I'm in so much pain today. Oh, I'm so sorry. Gentle hugs for sure. And prayers go out for sure. And that's all we can do. We can give you gentle hugs. We can be there to support, right? And all of those things, those are all things that's what this community does. And we are so close to getting to 2K If anybody can assist us with that, share us out. We would really appreciate that tremendously. We want to get there by the end of the year, and we are literally like 21 away. We'd like to get a little over just to make sure that we can. So if anybody can share us out, then absolutely, we would appreciate it more than you know. All right, here's the next thing in the 3 C's of grief. The second thing is connect. Nobody needs to suffer in silence. I called a friend yesterday, and they started talking. Now, I don't know what's going on in their lives, and that's okay. When they're ready, they know they can call me. And I just said to that person, you don't have to suffer in silence. If you need to call and talk to me, know that it will stay with me. It will not go any further. If you just need someone to listen to you crying over the phone, I'm here for you. I love you. Right? And I didn't push it. I didn't say, come on, come out with the stuff. No. That person knows that if they need to call and tell me whatever is going on, they can call me and talk to me. They don't need to suffer in silence. If they don't want to talk about it, but they just need someone to start talking to about whatever it is, they know they can do that. We can also be praying for them too as well. But they don't need to suffer in silence. They know that if they need someone to call, they got a voice, and I've got 2 ears, and I will be glad to listen to them. So allow yourself to say to somebody, listen, if you need to talk, I'm here. Don't pressure them to do it, but just allow them to have the ability to talk if they need to do so. But connect is the second C, which I thought was so important. It's something we talk about on a very, very, constant basis here about connection and how important connection is. And it's something that I say people don't have to they don't have to suffer in silence. It's your choice if you want to suffer in silence, but you don't have to. And I have made a very good point, except for Monday when I saw this article and I thought, I go live every day in December. And I thought, you know what? I can't do it. I chose to take care of me on Monday because I had spent that day on and off on just little things that shouldn't have bothered me all of a sudden did. And I was starting to cry, and I'm just exhausted. I don't have the emotional strength to do anything. I have nothing to give. And I made that choice to say, I can't. But I have made also a choice from December the 1st to go live every day in the month of December because I know how important it is. I know how much it struggles. I don't care if there's one person in this chat. I don't care if there's 20 people in this chat. I'm here for that one that says, I'm hurting, I'm struggling, whatever it is. We're going to go live. And next year we're going to start doing, except for, I totally get it. I love that analogy. You run out of those spoons. We're going to start in next year, just like, even if it's just from my bed, and I've done lives from my bed lately, is I'm just going to come live and say, okay, we're doing a 20-minute check-in. How are you guys doing? And it'll probably be at 9 o'clock at night. And it'll probably be on my phone. I don't care. I want to make sure you guys are doing okay. And we're going to start doing that. If I don't go live, we're just going to do a 20-minute check-in, except for Sunday and maybe Monday, and say, how y'all doing? Let's just do a check-in. Let's do a 9 p.m. check-in. How are you doing? Is there anything that we can help you with? Is there anything that you're struggling with? Because this also, being on the other side of the camera when it comes to YouTube and everything, it can be somewhat of discouragement. We were at 1983 a couple days ago, and then we went to 1977, and we back to 1977, 79. I'm like, YouTube, come on, stop playing with it. Can we just kind of go up? Or when the notifications don't go out, and then, you you don't feel like you're getting pushed out there, and it's kind of like, it can get a little bit discouraging. So we want to make sure that we're checking in with everybody and really solidifying that community that we have built tremendously. So, staying connected with others during grief, the feelings of isolation. Okay, so it mitigates it. If you are connected with people and you're going through a time where you are grieving, whether it's something depending on the circumstances or situation, you're numb. I mean, it took me a while to actually grieve over my dad. I was numb for quite a while after, he passed. If you are connected with people, it actually helps to mitigate the grief. It does what it does by, doing the thing and helping kind of go through that whole thing. And so if you can sit there and stay connected, then you're going to have a chance that's going to really, really help to kind of, help with that and deal with that. So, grief can create a sense of being cut off from the world, making social engagements difficult. Emotional support from family or friends navigating the grieving process, particularly during the time. Now, here's the thing, particular during the challenging times like the holidays. The first holiday without my dad was hard. The first holiday without my papu was hard. The first holiday without my grandmother was hard. She passed in June of 2018. My grandfather passed December 31st of 1997. It was a year later, okay, when we had Christmas. And I remember saying that year was really difficult because it wasn't the same. My grandfather wasn't there anymore. It made it difficult. And it was almost a year later that happened. But it was the first. It was a struggle. It was much more difficult. The second year was a little bit easier. Next year is going to be a little bit easier because I've already gone through the first year without Patty. And I think I realized, Patty and I kind of had at times a difficult relationship. And some of it was because she was someone that had dealt with on and off, had dealt with difficulty with with drugs and alcohol. And so I had a difficult time with her because of that. And so we had our ups and downs. But I so miss her in so many ways. And just her sense of humor and really realizing how much of someone, of a kind of a force that she was, a steady stream in my life for so many years. And of course, my side of the family is very tiny. So I just feel as if my family's just shrinking little bit by little bit. And so we can get through this, but we have to do it one step at a time, and we have to stay connected with each other. It is just, I think that it's not going to fix everything, but it is so important on so many different levels. Sharing memories of the person you've lost with the loved ones who can foster connection and support. These moments of remembrance can provide comfort and a sense of togetherness, which is essential for healing. Connecting with others. Here's why I want y'all to really absorb this one. Build a support system that alleviates the loneliness of grief. I'm dreading the day when my parents pass away. We are so close, which I know I'm not looking forward to the day when I got to say goodbye to my mom. I'm not looking forward to that day at all. But I want you all to hear that one again. Connecting with others builds support system that alleviates the loneliness of grief. Grief can be very lonely. And if you allow yourself to hide in a corner, it's not going to do anybody, hide the stats, it's not going to do anybody any good to sit in a corner. Right? It ain't going to do you good. It's not doing anybody else good. But if you connect with a support system, whether it is your family, people within your own community, people within your church, people on YouTube, this community, we have the lighthouse beacons for you guys to go in and let each other know, so forth and so on. By doing that, that really helps in so many different ways. So connecting with others is so important. The third C for that is communicate. Okay? So opening communication during grief fosters a support environment and prevents mental health issues. I would be amiss if I did not sit here and say to you, I'm struggling this Christmas season. Right? I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. There's blessings, of course, that are going on. But I'm still struggling because I just missed somebody. And then, of course, finding out that my friend also passed. I'm missing 2 people that are no longer in my life and cannot be in my life. I can't do anything. So me sitting here saying to you, I'm fine, I would be absolutely lying to my community, and I refuse to do that. Am I better than I was a couple days ago? Yes. Probably see it in my face, smiling a little bit more, put up the Christmas tree, wrap some gifts, finally getting into the holiday spirit. But it has taken me a little bit of time to do that. And I think part of doing that was kind of allowing the pressure to kind of come off the pressure cooker. It's time to unlock that trunk, Mary. It's time to start going through it. It's time to start going through those emotions. It's okay to cry. It's okay to think of Patty and get a little bit of emotional. Or think of my friend Laura and get a little emotional. It's okay. Okay, and I just found out she passed. And I mean, I didn't even know she passed. So she's kind of somebody very recently. Honest conversations with one's help them understand your needs, provides the necessary support, creating a sense of community, or shared understanding essentials for healing. If talking to friends or family is difficult, counseling from a therapist can help, and so forth. So if you need to go speak with a counselor, they are extremely helpful. Make sure you are connecting certainly with a counselor. And y'all, you can put #blessed in the chat if you want people connecting with your channel. Communicating your emotions and needs is vital dealing with grief and moving forward. If I didn't say to you all, listen, we have a goal by the end of the year to get to 2K. And if we were 300 people away from that, it would be a goal we could obtain, but we probably wouldn't obtain. Not saying we wouldn't, but I'm saying we may or may not. We are only 21 people away from hitting that goal, and I'd like to get actually over it a little bit because we know what YouTube decides to do. And so if I sat here and didn't tell you all, hey, we need your help to make this goal happen, and I didn't say anything, how are you all going to know that I needed it? If when we filled the shoe boxes, if I didn't let you all know, hey guys, we need help to fill these shoe boxes, and I just assumed, and I sat there thinking to myself, well, nobody wants to help fill these shoe boxes. If I didn't ask you all, you wouldn't know to do it. If I didn't say to you, hey guys, go watch watch some of our content, make some comments on some stuff, we would really appreciate it, you wouldn't know to do it. Maybe you would do it on your own. Yeah, I know. So close. So close. This girl really wants to crochet in the snow for 20 minutes. I'm telling you what. So close. And we'll get there. I think that's part of my frustration. It's like, come on, YouTube. I know we'll get there. But if I didn't tell you all, you wouldn't know. So if you're not telling your family and friends, hey, I'm struggling after you lost somebody, or if it's your first holiday, no matter when they passed that year, and it was somebody that was very close to you, and you didn't tell your family, hey, I'm going to really struggle this holiday season a little bit, or this holiday season is going to be different, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. How are they supposed to know? Are they supposed to be mind readers? My grandmother did that all the time. Oh, it used to frustrate us. And so it was like, Nana, if you don't tell us you need that, how are we supposed to know? We just supposed to be mind readers here and just all of a sudden go whoop and figure it out? It used to frustrate the dickens out of us because I would sit there going, I don't know if you don't tell, right? I loved her, but she, when it came to things, she was like, you were supposed to just assume that you knew, and if you didn't know, well, we need to help you get there, Crate, really. We need to help you get there. I'm looking for shout outs this week, so I will make sure you get one too as well. And I did say if anybody did do, I'll just make sure you get one, but I did put it in the little goal thing that if we reached our goal by the end of the stream, just because I wanted to see what that goal little thing was going to do, that we would certainly give people extra shout outs. So, because I think my mom's like only $9 away, from meeting the quota for next month. She's not too far away. So, grief can, let me take a screenshot so I don't forget. I know myself right now. Absolutely. I will forget. And it's not that I won't forget. It's just my brain right now. All right. So, grief can be significant disruption in daily life, affecting everything from the smallest task, overall sense of normalcy. The littlest thing last week, and mind you, I came back from our trip to Indiana sore and tired, and then I was kind of dealing with this kind of coming to the surface. So I was exhausted. There wasn't much I could give last week. I was really tired, and everything I was doing felt like it was overwhelming. Everything I did felt overwhelming. Trying to get these done until I think today, and I was going to record today, and I thought, no. Josh has a cold. We watched a movie. I wasn't sure if he was going to need to maybe go and be checked out or something like that. And so I really took care. I just didn't have it with me. Tomorrow, I'm going to hit this, and we're going to get caught up in the next couple of days for sure. But even just trying to do this was overwhelming. I need to look for the next one we're going to do in the Advent series because I want to get it, and I'm going to do exactly what I said last year. I do not want to do this again. I want to have them pre-recorded so that they're ready to go and all that kind of stuff. So thank you. Thank you very much. I know I'm so close. We'll get there. We got to get there, right? We got to get there. We can do that together. So everything is just getting back to the normalcy, and it's okay. Yeah, we'll now we're 20 away. We got to get there. We got to get there. So we're going to have a party, guys, after we get there for sure. So the grieving process often involves confronting the reality of loss. I didn't want to confront it. I didn't want to confront it. I was kind of scared to confront it. And I think, too, to some degree, I said to my therapist today, I said, I don't know where my panic attack came from yesterday. I was actually doing a live and I was having a panic attack, and I internally. And usually after one of them, I'm pretty tired the next day, and I thought, I ain't pushing anything today. I'm going to allow all my emotions to kind of calm myself down a little bit before I'm trying to do anything. And so, that was important too as well. The grieving process often involves confronting the reality of loss. If we don't confront it, I just read that, but if we don't confront it, it's like sitting there saying, oh, well, the house is on fire, but I'm going to go make dinner. Your house is burning down, and you're standing at the stove making dinner. No, you should be calling, hi, Strong. You should be calling the emergency department and getting them there to take care of the fire. So if you don't confront it, you can't deal with it. Now, when I was going through all of the stuff I was going through, when I was actually dealing with my aunt after my aunt passed, I was dealing with a lot. And I literally had to put those things in a trunk because emotionally I could not handle it. Emotionally, I was overwhelmed, I was exhausted, and I had to put those things in the trunk because I literally could not handle dealing with anything back in March. If we all as women go through and have that time of the month, and mine went on for almost 2.5 to 3 months solid. There was nothing else that I could do other than dealing with that and handling that and so forth. And I was too exhausted. I was too tired. I was too emotional that I literally had to say, the grief process has to go in the trunk, and I'll deal with it when I can pull it out later. And that's why this is all, it's just kind of all delayed. I'm seeing where I left off. The grieving process, did I do that? Sense of normality. Confronting the reality of loss, which can lead to emotional struggles, significant disruption in routine. Understanding the impact of grief in your daily life is critical for developing an effective coping strategy. Okay? How are you going to get through that? Holidays can amplify, okay, the feelings of loss. So prepare emotionally for upcoming challenges is critical. Embracing challenges and adjusting to new normal, things that are going on. Personal growth helps navigate the turmoil of grief. So when the holidays happen, I can't get on the phone and call my Aunt Patty and say, hey, Patty, how you doing? What's going on? I can't do it. She's not here. Okay, well, thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Create and Relate. When we're going through that, right? If we think about it for a second, we have to have coping skills. When we realize, listen, in the holiday season, I don't care when you've lost somebody, people that are no longer here, it's going to be amplified. I can't call my aunt and say, how you doing? And that brings a level of sadness to it. And so we have to realize, wait a minute, I've already said, and I didn't think this was going to hit. That was the other thing. I thought, I'm going to be fine. The holiday seasons are going to be great. it's a different type of holiday season this year. Okay? It's a different type of holiday season. And we have to remember that and be aware of it and be prepared to acknowledge it. If we don't acknowledge it, forget it. You have to say, okay, it's going to be difficult. You know, like if you sit there and say, listen, I need to start working out more, and you go and you work out more and you're sore the next day, and I say, I'm never doing that again. Well, if you don't keep going and going back, your soreness will lessen, right? Your soreness will lessen. But it's only going to do it by you going back and doing the same thing and keeping it up. You won't be so sore next time. I remember when I was working in Christina's cafeteria, the first day I came home, I was so sore. I could barely move. I was so sore. But as I kept doing it, I was less and less sore because my body was getting used to doing that specific, job. It wasn't my cup of tea, I can tell you that. Two significant aspects of grief affect daily life: cognitive challenges and emotionally as well fluctuates. So there's going to be days you're going to be, I'm fine, I'm doing pretty good today. And there's other days like Monday where I literally broke down in tears several times during the day. I was really, really struggling with having any kind of emotional ability to do anything. This was one thing that I said, this is exactly what I have felt for the past week. Grief brain. I love that. Grief often leads to cognitive challenge, commonly referred to as grief brain or grief fog. If you are familiar with fibromyalgia, and I don't get foggy too often, but sometimes I do. And I think too, if you're going through the change, I think you wind up with some foggy brain too. But I've felt in the past a little bit like, boy, I'm foggy. I'm like, I should know how to put the video together for Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I'm like, I know how to do it, but it's just not computing. And now finally, I feel like I'm coming. The fog is lifting because I've acknowledged the fact that, wait a minute, this year is going to be difficult. This year is going to be hard, but I'm going to get through it. And I'm going to go through this grief. Let's start opening things. And just slowly, the fog is lifting where it's like, okay, now I know how to put this together. I know how to put it together. I just couldn't think because I felt my brain was like really, really foggy. The state affects the memory. Here's another big one. Concentration. Ding, 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 ding. The only thing I could really concentrate was putting on Christmas movies and crocheting. Because I can get lost in crochet. And I usually can get lost in Canva too. I really struggled with actually getting lost in Canva over the past week. Couldn't do it. Couldn't focus on it. Couldn't handle it. And it was like, okay, I have to realize that. So, so that was something that, wait a minute, I want to sit here and sit there and say, okay, this is legit. Okay. Completing daily tasks. I know what I need to do, right? I know what should get done. Not really that hard to do. But even doing the littlest tasks, like doing channel shoutouts, doing the recaps and all that. And by the way, my mother's computer, which I have to get after the son-in-law just a little bit, has been down. And she was helping a lot with a lot of that stuff. And since her computer's gone down and she has her Chromebook, and we were down because we didn't have this computer, which could handle some heavy lifting, and it crashed. And I was using the Chromebook, and the Chromebook can get frustrating at times. So it was like, that's why there's been some delay. But I can't sit here and say that there is a lot. I mean, there's over I think I looked at last, over 1,600 worth of content on this channel. There's a lot of content there for it. And part of the reason for this channel is for connection. I need it. Mom gets the revenue. Like I said, I think we're only like $10 away from her getting her next little bit, getting over that threshold. She gets the revenue, which really helps. I need the connection. But another thing for this channel is also for down the road. One of these days, I hope to become a grandma. And this will become a legacy channel for that next generation. There are recipes on this channel that my daughter wanted on here so that she has them, that my future grandchildren will have them, that they will get to see me, they will get to see their great-grandmother. And so this also becomes a legacy for the future of all that as well. So, you know, there's more to this channel than just, and building that community and all that. A lot of it is all together. And I think that we don't understand the importance of legacy. Sometimes I don't think we realize how important it is, but it is so important. And we have the technology for the journal of our lives to go back and be able to see that. And I'm grateful for that technology to be there. So again, concentration, completing daily tasks. Individuals may struggle with decision makings or remembering trivial responsibilities, feeling overwhelmed. There's another one. And by previously managed tasks. I've done all these tasks before. But for some reason in the past couple weeks, they have just been felt so overwhelming. Well, now I understand why. I've got a correlation between all this going, you know what, this just isn't all stuff. Part of this is fibromyalgia. Part of it is dealing with chronic pain. Part of it is dealing with the grief of losing my aunt back in March and finally starting the grieving process. We grieve in our own time. Nobody should sit there with you if you lost somebody, whenever that is. Well, you're supposed to be done with the grieving process. No, you get to choose when you're going to go through it and how you're going to go through it and what it looks like. So you've got that. Okay, the grieving process. And then I also have just the change kind of foggy thing. I got 3 things kind of coming together at once, making for somewhat of a perfect storm. These kind of impairments can make it challenging for you to keep up with daily routine. No, we didn't read this. Daily routines, adding to overall sense of chaos and confusion. I don't know if I've been confused, but I felt like, hi Poetic Tears, I've kind of felt like, you know what? I really feel as if I'm just so overwhelmed that anything I want to do other than just sitting there and crocheting is chaotic. Because it just felt overwhelmed. Like I need to sit with Echo and Sandra and get together a time when we're going to sit and do the thing with the AI. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to sit with Echo next week and figure out when we're going to do that. And I'm like, I should have done this. And it's kind of like, I know I got to get it done, but it doesn't feel so overwhelmed now, but it did last week and up to actually probably yesterday, where I kind of felt like the fog was lifting a little bit, going, I didn't want to acknowledge this, because acknowledging the fact that I am starting this process of grieving over my aunt, thank you very much, hon, grieving over my aunt, I didn't want to touch that. But it had to happen at one point, right? I didn't want to acknowledge it, but I needed to acknowledge it. And once I've acknowledged it, it's kind of like, hey, I can lift it a little bit, going, okay, if this is happening or so forth, I know why. And for those people that are coming in, we'll probably work on the blanket tomorrow. I'm going to do a cookie recipe tomorrow. Put that up. I'm going to put about the. I know I've said all this, and it's like it should already have been done. But even the process of going to do it and doing voiceovers and all that stuff was overwhelming. Sitting at this computer and going and saying it really would take me all of about 10 minutes to actually take the snow one that I did. Well, Josh took off the frost guards, which I wanted you all to see. So if anybody lives in the snow, they can know about it. Going and doing that, sitting in the computer and doing the voiceover, that itself for all of about 10 minutes, all it would have taken me was it was too overwhelming. It was honestly too overwhelming. It's not overwhelming now, but it was a couple days ago. And I think part of the thing that was the change was acknowledging, wait a minute, I'm struggling with something, and I'm dealing with something. So recognizing these challenges as a part of grieving process can help you develop the strategies to cope and gradually regain a sense of control over your life. And there was a comment put in one of the things where somebody said, and I'm not doing it verbatim, they said, you look like you have the world on your shoulders. You look like you're overwhelmed. You look like you're struggling. I want to thank that person. I haven't responded to the comment yet. I want to thank them because that was my tipping point. Wait a minute. There's something. Guys, you all know there's not much. I'm one of those people throughout my life that's kind of like, if I'm going through something, you can see it all over my face. And enough that it was like, wait a minute, I am struggling with something. What am I struggling with? And that was my start to say, there's something going on. I need to figure out what it is. So I want to thank that person. And I will respond to the comment. Emotional roller coaster. Okay. The grieving process often involves fluctuation of emotions, ranging from intense sadness, confusion, to moments of joy, even anger. These emotion swings can make you feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster with no path of stability. Managing grief involves acknowledging fluctuation in feelings in a normal part of the journey. And I got sidetracked for a minute, but Friday, tomorrow we're going to work on the blanket. I'm not sure what we're going to do Friday, but Saturday we're going to do a special project, and we have a special announcement. And I'm going to put that up actually sometime tonight or tomorrow, so that it sits in the YouTube thing. It'll probably be about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7:30, somewhere around there. But join me for a special craft project and a special announcement. You're not going to want to miss it. Opening the communication about your emotions, significant aids that help the process, helps prevent loneliness and isolation. So we have to realize that emotions dealing with the grieving process are part of the acknowledgement that, wait a minute, right? We're going to go through this whole thing. We're going to go, this is part of the whole process of what we're doing. Okay? And so if you go sit there and say, wait a minute, this is part of the process. Okay? And another thing that I'm going to do, because I know that some people don't always like, before I forget, and I'm going to set Mama with buy a coffee. So, excuse me, I've got to go set her up with that. So I'm going to also set her up with buy a coffee. I haven't done that yet, and I've been meaning to do that. So that'll just be another way that you can assist and help out. And I've totally forgotten that I was supposed to put gifts up on. I started putting gifts ideas up on the community tab. That was overwhelming last week. I was like, wait a minute. Simple stuff. It doesn't take a long time. Was overwhelming to me. So forth. But significant aids in the healing process helps to prevent loneliness and isolation. It is so easy to just isolate. It's so easy to say, I'm going to forget the world. It doesn't help you heal. It actually does the opposite of that. expressing your emotions and connecting with supportive communities, fostering resilience, helping you navigate through the ups and downs of grief are more effective. Do you not hear what that is saying? Expressing your emotions, connecting with a supportive community, that is what we're trying to do here. You do not have to know how to crochet to be here. We are going to teach you how to do these blankets. If you all are crocheters and you want to learn how to do them, we're going to teach you how to read the patterns if you all want to do them. I told people to, I did these recently just because I had some leftover yarn. And we are putting these up, and these should have been up on the Fourth Wall store. This was too overwhelming. All I need to do was take a picture of it and put it up. But we do little baby booties if anybody needs booties. I think we're going to charge like $12 or something, but we do make handmade baby booties if anybody needs these as a gift. If anybody's expecting and needs a gift, we do make these, and these are the camo ones, but aren't they cute? But anyway, those are on there. They're going to be on the Fourth Wall store very shortly, but I made those because I wanted to have them available to you all. If you're looking for a gift that you need for somebody, you can have them. So those will be on there. But if you can connect with the supporter communities, fostering resilience, it helps you navigate the ups and downs. So if you come here, this is a community I guarantee you are going to help you with the ups and downs of whatever you're going through. That's why we're building it. We're not necessarily building it for the crochet. We're building it so nobody has to suffer in silence. We're building it for that supportive community that I know I wished I had when I was going through my dad's dementia, when I was grieving over his loss, when I no longer had him when he passed away, when I was raising Christina. That is why this community is here. So we can all be a supportive place for that. So adapting to a new reality. We people, a lot of us, do not like change, right? And we'd like just to have everything stay the status quo. But sometimes changes are good. And remember when we did that song, and there was some songs even in fall that I needed to get out. I didn't get out. And there was one song I did, and it says, "Change is beautiful." I'm live. Change is beautiful. So, adjusting to life after loss involves this: redefining your purpose and finding new meaning in daily activities. So I've kind of had to switch how I've done things. I've used to start the morning at times getting on my computer, my little Chromebook, and doing stuff that needed to get done. I've stopped doing that during this time. I get up, I sit and watch a Christmas movie for 2 hours, and I crochet. Unless I've got someplace to go, like church or something like that. But I'm finding that's helpful. I get lost in crochet. Sometimes I thought, wait, I need to crochet. I need to stop and do stuff. And then before I know it, I'm still crocheting, or I'm on my phone flipping through reels, because then I don't have to think. I don't have to pay attention. I don't have to think. I don't have to feel. And that's not healthy. Facing the challenges of this transition. Taking opportunities for personal growth and healing. I feel, and my therapist even said, good for you that you noticed that you were going through this, and that you needed to, that you were in this, and you were in this process, and you needed to kind of go through this. Good for you. I'll have to look. Stats, thank you so much. Like I said, if we don't ask for help, we're not going to know, right? If it ever happens, we get on, I'm going to cry like a... 7 more. 7 more. 7 more. That's all we need is 7 more. You guys are awesome. I'm telling you what. You have no idea how much I needed this encouragement. 7 away. Hopefully YouTube won't take them all away from us. Oh, thank you so much. We're 7 away. We can do this as a community. Hi, Alfonso. We can do this as a community for sure. It is. We can do it. Absolutely. But we can do this together for sure. Yeah, if you want to keep trying, go. Because I'm telling you, we get to 2K. The first time it sits out and snows, I'm going out there and crocheting as long as we stick by it. And then we're going to party. Because I want to get here by the end of the year. You guys are amazing. You are amazing. You guys are just awesome. You have no idea right now how much I needed it. You guys are awesome. You rock stars. Where was I? Okay. So, taking the opportunity for personal growth and healing. I could have stayed in the bed tonight. I almost thought about doing it. I thought I was going to sit there. Just turn on a Christmas movie. Close off from the world. How is that going to help anybody? Is it going to help me? No. We had a goal to get to something by the end of the year. It may happen tonight. Whether it'll stick for tonight. It may stick for tonight. It may not. It's okay. Guys, it changes when, and you have to all understand, YouTube sees you as different when you're at a 2K level. They see you as different. They push you out there. When they can see those things happening, hopefully they're not going to go back and take it away. Hopefully. But you guys are rock stars. But they just see you different. Yeah, it is reachable. I know. But I've been discouraged because we've been working on this goal, I think, since for a while. And it's just kind of like YouTube's gone doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop, we could have been there already. And it has just been, they've been messing with the numbers, and it's been discouraging a little bit. And it's okay, because I think that it's part of the process. If anybody thinks they're going to start a YouTube channel, and I did it for the connection, and guys, it takes my focus off the pain. I could sit here saying I hurt every day. I hurt every solitary day. But I don't think about the fact that I hurt when I'm doing stuff for the channel, or I'm crocheting, or I'm on here talking to you all. I hope that people tonight may see, you know what, she's got a smile back on her face, and I do. Because I'm allowing myself to think of my aunt and go, it's okay to cry. I miss her. I miss her. And I miss my friend that I didn't get to say goodbye to. I miss her, and it's okay to get emotional. It's okay to cry. This is a safe place. Suffering in silence is no good. It's no bueno, and it should never be. Nobody should have to do it. And if I'm sitting here, maybe with some tears in my eyes and crying, it's because I want everybody to know it's okay. I don't care if the person died in February, or they died in June, or they died in whatever. The first holiday without them is a hard one, even if you got good stuff happening in the background. It's okay. So the 3 C's offer a structure to approach transition, helping you to develop healthy coping mechanisms and emotional stability, and creating new traditions. Building resilience are key aspects of these processes. And one of the things that I did read was, there was a list of things, and we probably won't do it today. I think I'll try to do it Friday. Is was different things that you could do to honor that person by like lighting a candle, making a favorite dish. There was different things that you could do to honor somebody if you've lost somebody over the holiday season to make it easier. And I thought, that's a really good idea. I don't know quite yet what I could do for my aunt to honor her, but that was really good. That was a neat way of looking at it. How can I honor her? And it was by reading this whole thing. Creating new traditions, establishing new traditions. I mean, not that we're changing the tradition. I think the hardest one for me is like, I can't call her and talk with her and find out, wish her Merry Christmas and all that kind of stuff. That tradition's gone, and we always do that, and that tradition's kind of gone. So, honoring memories of the lost loved one aids in healing process. Creating rituals that celebrate the lives of those who have passed provides a comfort and sense of continuation. New traditions can be as simple as lighting a candle in the memory of the loved one, or starting a new family activity that honors their memory. Incorporating those rituals into your life creates a space for remembrance and healing, allowing you to move forward, and will keep your memory alive, or keep their memory alive. One thing that my daughter likes to have is she has one of my dad as one of the necklaces, with and she wanted one of my aunt, and that's not possible. But we have done something else so that she can still have something very similar to that, and that's going hopefully under the tree this year, and that will start a tradition where even I think after, because my aunt loved Christmas, she absolutely loved it, after your mom's cookies, some of them freeze, we visit. Oh, that's awesome. And if you want to send me that recipe, I'll gladly put it in a short, put it on the channel, and tag your channel if you want to do that. I will gladly, if you have a picture of your mom and you want me to do that, I'd be glad to do that. Our email is on the link tree. If you want to send it to us, I can certainly put that in honor of your mom. If you'd like to do that, I'd be more than glad to do that. So, where was this thing? So, but one thing that I was saying is like I'll probably put a present underneath the tree every year to my daughter, just in memory of her Aunt Patty. That is going to be a tradition I started. This is one that I can do this year, but next year I may find something that I know my aunt would have given her, but that can't, and we're going to put that under the tree, and it's going to be from Patty. Just something to continue. Building resilience during grief involves recognizing your inner strengths and embracing their vulnerability and allowing you to adapt to the life without the person that you have. There are new coping skills. Here's the thing. Realizing your inner strength, but also realizing when you've hit a wall, when your emotions are not there for it, saying, you know what, I'm done, I can't do this today. Or when you're just dealing with too many and the emotions are too there, you got to put them in the trunk and say, you know what, I'm going to put it in the trunk for the day because I'm done, I'm tired. Developing the resilience means allowing yourself to feel the process of the range of emotions. Understanding the feelings are a natural part of healing. Focusing on the ability to adapt, growing through the grief fosters a sense of empowerment and emotional stability. The resilience helps you navigate the current loss and prepares you for future challenges, right? The holidays can amplify the feelings of grief, making it particularly challenging to those who have experienced loss. I don't care when this is. The first holiday without that person is different. My aunt gave my daughter a shirt. My daughter didn't want it anymore. She gave it to me. I have worn it to my husband's Thanksgiving gathering every year since. I could not wear it this year. I went to Kohl's. I was shopping for something else. I found a shirt. I'm buying that shirt. And that was the shirt that I wore this year. I knew I could not handle wearing that Pacific shirt to the Thanksgiving gathering because I thought the minute I put it on, I'm going to start crying. And I chose not to wear that Pacific shirt. Next year, I think I could probably wear it. This year, I don't even want to put it on. And I'm acknowledging that. Planning ahead, setting realistic expectations to alleviate the pressure of holiday obligations. Creating healthy appreciation of navigating grief. Modifying holiday traditions or scaling back activities. I did a lot of activities on this channel this year. Last year. I could not do it on this channel this year. Between the sciatic nerve, between a little bit more increased pain, and between all this, I had to kind of dull things back. I will say I have learned that I'm going to look for the Advent calendar for next year, and I'm going to sit and record it so that I'm not trying to record it so it comes out on schedule next year. But this is a perfect thing. This was really easy to do. It was easy to record this. The editing took some time, but it should have been just fine. Doing this was actually overwhelming. It's not now. And I've got D&E done, and I think we're in day 11, so we're at what is it? K? We're at K? So I've got D&E done, which I will actually edit and get out. But I need to sit and record from F to K. Actually, yeah, tomorrow's K. I need to get those done. We're 11 days in. We should be caught up with this, and we're just not. And I finally had to say to myself, these will get out in the month of December, but we also have to work on Mary's schedule right now. And I hope that this is an understanding that this is kind of what we're talking about right now, understanding where your limitations are. If people understand, yes, this is easy, but when you're going through the first time of grieving somebody, this simple thing is overwhelming. You have to say it's okay. Hopefully people can understand it. And I said, oh, we'll be all caught up by Monday. Things happen and life happens. And as long as they get out, people can still go back and read the stuff. I do have every intention in the head now that I'm in a different headspace than I was even a couple days ago. I'm in a much better headspace. I am planning to get this caught up because I want to get caught up with this because I'm in a different place now than I was even 2 days ago. I'm in so much better place, which is good. Scaling back activities, making the season more manageable, allowing the moments of remembrance and connection, leaning on your support system, such as friends and family, provides an emotional strength, needing to cope with the heightened holiday emotions. Here's some planning detail strategy. Here's the thing. This community that we have built this so nobody has to suffer in silence. We know that this time of year is difficult and hard for people. And we go live every day in the month of December because we want to make sure that nobody suffers in silence, not one. And we are going to next year, probably about 9 o'clock at night, even if it's from my bed, is we're going to get on and say, okay, we're doing a 20-minute check-in. How are you doing? What do you need help with? Like I said, listen, I want to get to 2K. You guys got to help me. I can't do this by myself. I need help to get there. What did Stats do? He was on it like fire. It's like, wait a minute. I got you. I got your back. So this way, if we're on for 20 minutes, just for a 20-minute check-in, if it lasts for 40 minutes, wonderful. We're in for a 20-minute check-in to say, how is everybody doing today? If we don't go live, then we're just going to do a 20-minute check-in. It's probably not going to be on Saturday and Monday. Those are my 2 days. But the rest of the time, if we don't go live somewhere within the day, we're going to start doing a 20-minute check-in. I may miss some here and there. That's fine. but at least we can check in with each other and see if we need any kind of emotion, any kind of help. Anybody needs any kind of help, whether it's just talking, whether it's just saying hi, maybe it's something to YouTube related and we can help each other out, whatever that may be. That is certainly what we can do, and we can all help each other get there. Certainly 100%. So planning ahead, setting realistic expectations in holiday celebrations is critical for managing grief effectively. Simplifying your holiday plans or modifying traditions that are better aligned with your emotional needs can reduce the weight of the holiday obligations and create more supportive environment. If you are struggling, don't try to force something that's not there. If you have done a holiday tradition every year and for some reason you just can't do that year, maybe it's something you've done with a person or that's been involved with a person, and you say, you know what, I just can't handle that this year. Don't force it. Don't make it happen when you can't. You may have to say, you know what, that holiday tradition, I know we usually do it, but I just can't handle it this year. I just really, really can't handle it. Communicating your plans and expectations with loved ones helps them understand your needs and provides necessary support. The proactive approach helps you navigate the season with great ease and emotional stability. If you sit there and say, guess what? Everything's fine. Everything is fine, and I'm okay, and everything's fine. Then you're just lying to yourself and you're lying to the people surrounding you. You have to be honest and upfront with those that are there. And you have to sit there and say, listen, I can't do that this year. And can we not do, I just can't handle this, and you have to just be upfront and honest with your family surrounding you, because otherwise, forget it. They're not mind readers. You may think they are, but they're not. So, get that support system. You've got it here, guys. You've got it in other communities around YouTube. You have it with you in your church community, in your family's community, all of those kind of things. And lean on those. Do not suffer in silence. We have, We have a prayer group or a Sunday school group. We all have text messages. And if we're struggling, we have a little group that we can go in on our phone and text people and say, hey, we're struggling. We need a little prayer right now. Okay? There was one guy, I was listening to him one time, and he said, we have a pact with my friends. He said, no one cries alone. And he said, they'll call if they need to cry, and I'll sit there and listen to them. I'll be there for them. Nobody cries by themselves. And they've kept that pact going. He said, so that if there's something going on and we all need to chit-chat and so forth, we can sit there calling each other and say, nobody's going to cry by themselves. I think that's wonderful. So the 3 C's, choose, connect, choice, connect, and communicate, are essential tools throughout the grieving process. Fostering healing and resilience, engaging in activities that promote the well-being, connecting with loved ones, and communicating with your feelings, having to navigate the grief daily and move forward with great stability and emotional stability. Or grief daily and move forward with greater emotional stability. We had a family member that when my aunt was diagnosed with cancer, things went south and has not talked to us. And we've had intermittent communications with the individual. And I messaged them today. I said, I was just wondering, is there any possibility that we can work this out and talk with each other at one point or so forth? Now, I have not heard back from them, and that's okay. I said, but I'm going to try, and if I don't hear anything back, then I'm just going to message them back and say, I wish you the best in life and have a great life. I won't bother you again. But I just thought, we've had this now for 2 years in this divide with a little bit of spurses of stuff. And are we really going to spend another holiday season like this? Are we going to come together as a family and come back and try to heal this? It'll never be the same, but can we come back and try to heal this without all this divide? That's up to the individual. I've done all I can. Long-term healing requires ongoing efforts to engage the practices of the 3 C's into your life. Not only aids in coping with grief, but helps in celebrating the lives and the memories of those that you've lost. Let's explore how these principles can support long-term healing. Focusing on personal choices empowers individuals to regain control during the grief process. Taking small steps, not big steps. Your life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. The grieving process is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So don't try to make it go fast. It is going to go in its own pace. It's going to take as long as your body and you can do. And sometimes, because of my fibromyalgia, I have to die back a little bit, because sometimes if I get too emotional, the pain increases. So I have to do this in a little bit different time than other people may have to. Rather than aiming for drastic changes, facilitating a gradual healing process, establishing a routine and setting small, achievable goals, significant aid in maintaining a mental well-being during the healing process. When I had my daughter, I wasn't ready to go the first week of her life. Okay, I'm back to my old self. It took me probably about 3 or 4 months to even feel like I was back to some semblance of who I was. I was changed after I had her, but I wasn't like, oh, guess what? Here I am, all back to myself. My body went through a heck of a lot of changes during my 9 months of carrying her, and then after having her. And plus, I was going through a tremendous emotional stuff with that marriage, and of course, it winded up in divorce. But, it's going to take time. It's a process, and it's going to take time. You've got to give yourself that ability to do that. Creating simple plans, accommodating the grief process, providing the structure or approach to long-term healing, integrity that lose the loss of into your daily life while maintaining or integrating the loss into the daily life while maintaining emotional stability. Celebrating the life of that individual. Do that even while you're crying. Celebrate their life. Creating rituals and activities to honor their memory of the lost loved one brings joy. It's like when we do the blessing, or when we do the shoe boxes, I think of my grandmother, and it brings me joy. I know we do the cookie connection, which we will start back next year. That brings me back to my dad. That brings me memories of my dad. We always go live at 12 o'clock or right before New Year's. We go live before New Year's. We go live like 20 minutes before New Year's. And I do that because I find out that New Year's is hard for me. And so I go through that with you guys, because that's when my grandfather left. And then 20 minutes after New Year starts is when my dad left this world. And so I go through that whole entire time with the community and the support, because I know it's helpful and it helps to navigate it. Through these actions, you celebrating the life will navigate your own grief. The rituals provide comfort and serve as an important part of the healing process and help you remember and honor your loved ones and the meaning. So, here is just another thing that I'm going to say. If you are really struggling with depression when it comes to going through a grief process, you can talk to a friend. They are wonderful. You can talk to a pastor. Wonderful to have. But if you're finding yourself going down into a real spiral, please, 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 please go seek professional counseling. There is no shame in saying, I need professional counseling to get through the loss of whoever the one that you lost is. Seek it out. There are places that you can get free professional counseling services. It is beneficial to you. My daughter fought it for a long time, and she has actually been with a counselor as she's trying to navigate her life, navigate herself as someone who's on the spectrum, and she's actually found it very beneficial. Even though Mama said it for a while, she's actually found it to be very, very helpful to kind of have someone to go just talk to. So go find somebody to help. If you're dealing with somebody, a family member or a friend, and you're concerned, please reach out for help for them. If there's any kind of issues where you feel their depression is going down and not a good level, you need to maybe reach out. If you're a friend, maybe to a family member. If you're that family member, see if you can reach out and so forth to make sure that they're getting the support that they need. They may not see themselves kind of spiraling down. I'm, of course, have an amazing support system. And my husband realized I was on the depressed side. I could tell I was depressed a little bit. My mom picked it up. My counselor picked it up. So, and you guys did a little bit. I was just surrounded by all this wonderful support. So please make sure that you're connected. Make sure you're in touch with somebody. There is no shame in saying, I need to go talk to a professional counseling. If your insurance won't cover it, there are absolutely wonderful financial free services that will help you with that so that you can get through this. There's also, I think it's Grief Share. I think that is. It's with the local church. It's a wonderful program. I went through that with my dad. Excuse me, it was very helpful, and there's other people going through the same thing at the same time. That's in a church. A lot of churches will have that program as well. So I will put that resource if I find it in there, because that was also a great resource too as well. So I think the big takeaways to this is, one of the things that kept coming up over and over and over again is stay connected. Isolating yourself is not going to help. You've got to stay connected, especially during the holidays. Realize that your family and friends are not going to be mind readers. They don't realize that you're struggling unless you speak up and say something. And if you need to change things in order to get through the holidays so that you can get through them and still sit there and enjoy them, then you may need to change things up. If maybe, like, it was a simple thing. I'm not wearing the shirt that my aunt gave to my daughter that I got later down the road, because it's too hard for me to wear it. It brings back too many memories, and if I put it on, I'm going to sit there and just cry. So I'm not going to wear it. Sometimes it's simple things like that that can change how we're doing this, but we got to do it together. And there's the other thing too. We're going to do this and connect together. Thank you all so much. I can't thank you enough. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, you guys really do make so much. You make such a difference in this girl's life. I don't think you realize how much you make a difference in my mama's life. And I love each and every one of you. We are going to take a time. It's been a while since I've really thanked our members. If I can find it, remember. I haven't been on Streamlabs for a while, so I had to go back on. How do you do that? How do you get back to the camera? Here's the thing. If I remember how to do it for next time, I may not. I forgot. I've already forgotten how to do it. It was like, where is that? And it was like, forget it. I was like, okay. So let me go in to see if I can remember how to do this one. Is it on this one? No, here it is. I had to remember how to do it. Let's take a moment and dance. We're just going to thank all of our channel members. You do make this channel grow, and we thank you so much for your continuing support. We're going to dance for a minute, and just thank our channel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And it gives me a good reason to see Elvis. I don't mind seeing him. I said I was going to do Elvis content this year. It didn't happen, but hopefully for next year. So we're probably going to work on the blanket tomorrow a little bit. On Friday, I may do something on ways of honoring somebody that's no longer here. Ideas that we can come up with. And then again on Saturday, I will put that up. I have to do the thumbnail for those. It may be tonight or maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But I'd like it to marinate. But on Saturday, about the same time, about 7:30, we're going to be on. We're going to do a craft project, and we have an announcement, y'all. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss it. And wouldn't it be amazing if we're at 2K by the time Saturday happens? That would be really awesome to see. So you guys got a mission to do in the next couple of days. That'd be awesome, awesome, awesome to see. Or if we get to 2K while we're on that stream, that'd be awesome. So we're going to do a craft project. If you're not a crafter, that doesn't matter. It's still Connect and Grow time. Anytime we go live is a Connect and Grow time. So use that opportunity to come in and meet some amazing channels and some amazing things. So don't worry about that. But go ahead and come in, connect and grow, and you can watch the craft. You can do the craft. It involves snowmen, y'all. You know how I like my snowmen. And so we're going to do that. We're going to make a special announcement, and y'all don't want to miss it. I guarantee you, you don't want to miss it. But I figured out I'll wait till Saturday for a couple reasons, but I also wanted to make sure that if I do the thumbnail for it, it kind of gets marinated in the system a little bit for it. And we're getting shout outs out back up again. I'm going to do the weekly recaps for the last week that was halfway decent. I just have to sit there and do that. It may come out a little bit late, but then we'll get back on track. I promise you. And hopefully y'all can see there's just a smile on my face. I really do feel like if sometimes you don't acknowledge that you're struggling and you're going through something, I think it just weighs you down. You have to acknowledge it. And I finally had to say to myself, this holiday season is going to be tougher than I thought. It's the first. And it's okay. And we're going to get through it together. We're a great community. Love the community we've built. Again, guys, I just want to reiterate, we are building a community, not an audience. It's just a goal that I really wanted to see this channel get to. Guys, the fact that we even got monetized was a humongous goal that I was so amazed to see. But not only that, the fact that we are getting to that other goal, I really wanted to see it by the end of this year. And I'm glad to see it. It's such an amazing thing to see. And for those new people that joined, thank you so much. I appreciate it tremendously. Come on in, connect and grow, and so forth. Leave a comment if you're new so we can welcome you to our amazing community. And I'm going to get off here. I mean, I haven't gone live stream for this long. I'm starting to lose my voice. So, Connect and Grow times are always here at Blessed to Crochet because we're all about trying to help other communities find other communities and bringing you all together and so forth and so on. So, with that being said, I'm going to get off here. Hopefully this was helpful. This article really, honestly, absolutely opened my eyes. It certainly put me in a much different place. And I hope you all can see it. So thank you all for sticking by me. I appreciate it. So remember to be proud of being yourself. Everyone else is taken. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. We have you covered. Thank you so much for having Blessed to Crochet covered. You are the blessing behind Blessed to Crochet. We'll see you on the next one. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody. We love you, and happy holidays.
So proud of being